Good evening, my weary academics, and welcome to History to Sleep By, where we nerd out and conk out. If you enjoy calm, narrated history documentaries, or just need a reliable friend to help with restless nights, please subscribe, leave a like, and maybe share a comment about what's happening in your life. That way, you'll always find your way back to us. Now let's begin tonight's journey. In the early summer of 1776, the warm waters near Charleston, South Carolina, became the stage for a significant encounter. The British, under the command of General Henry Clinton and Admiral Sir Peter Parker, aimed to seize control of Charleston. Their plan was meticulous. The British forces intended to bombard the defenses on Sullivan's Island and then land troops to capture the city. The harbor of Charleston, however, was a complex web of channels and sandbars, presenting a navigational challenge. The main channel led past Sullivan's Island, where the unfinished Palmetto log fort awaited, commanded by Colonel William Moultrie. Moultrie's fort was not yet complete, but its design was unique. Constructed from palmetto logs and sand, the fort's spongy structure would prove surprisingly resilient to cannon fire. The British fleet, consisting of 9 vessels, carried a formidable array of guns, poised to unleash their strength upon the American defenses. Among these ships, the HMS Actaeon would later face a fateful end. On the morning of June 28, 1776, the British fleet began its advance. The ships navigated carefully through the channels, their masts towering against the horizon. As they approached, the fort on Sullivan's Island stood ready, its defenders bracing for the onslaught. The bombardment commenced, the air filled with the roar of cannon fire. The British guns thundered, shells arcing toward the fort. Yet, the palmetto logs absorbed much of the impact, their fibrous nature diffusing the energy of the blasts. Inside the fort, Colonel Moultrie and his men managed their ammunition with precision. Supplies were limited, and each shot had to count. The defenders returned fire, their aim steady and true. As the battle raged, the HMS Actaeon found itself in peril. Attempting to maneuver closer, it ran aground on a sandbar. Stranded and vulnerable, the crew was forced to abandon ship, setting it ablaze to prevent its capture. Meanwhile, British infantry movements unfolded near Breach Inlet. General Clinton's troops aimed to cross and join the attack on the fort. However, the inlet's treacherous waters and strong currents thwarted their efforts. The crossing was deemed too risky, and the plan was abandoned. This decision left the naval forces to contend with the fort alone. As the sun began to set, the battle's outcome grew clearer. The British fleet, despite its firepower, could not overcome the fort's defenses. Damage to the ships mounted, and the decision was made to withdraw. The defenders, though exhausted, held their ground. The Palmetto Fort had withstood the test, its walls scarred but standing. Casualties on both sides were significant, yet the British losses were more pronounced. The HMS Actaeon, a smoldering wreck, was a testament to the day's events. The Americans, buoyed by their success, gathered what supplies they could from the abandoned ship. The immediate aftermath saw the British fleet retreating, their plans for Charleston thwarted. The defense of Sullivan's Island had strategic consequences, bolstering American morale and securing Charleston's safety for the time being. In the quiet that followed, the significance of the day's events began to settle in. The defenders on Sullivan's Island had demonstrated resilience and resourcefulness. The Palmetto Fort, initially underestimated, had proven its worth. For the British, the failure to capture Charleston was a setback, a reminder of the challenges they faced in the American colonies. As the night enveloped the harbor, the waters calmed, and the echoes of battle faded. The fort on Sullivan's Island stood as a symbol of defiance, its defenders ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The events of June 28, 1776, would be remembered as a pivotal moment in the struggle for American independence, a testament to the power of determination and ingenuity in the face of adversity. And so, with the gentle lapping of the waves against the shore, we close our eyes and drift into the embrace of sleep, cradled by the stories of the past. As dawn broke over the horizon, the first light of day revealed the scars of battle etched into the landscape. The defenders, weary yet triumphant, surveyed the scene with a mix of relief and resolve. The palmetto logs, which had absorbed the British cannonballs with surprising resilience, stood as silent guardians of their newfound hope. The air was filled with the salty tang of the sea, mingling with the earthy scent of the island, a reminder of the natural fortitude that had aided their victory. The soldiers, now seasoned by the trial of combat, moved with a quiet camaraderie, their bonds forged in the crucible of shared struggle. They attended to the fort's defenses, reinforcing walls and clearing debris, their hands steady and purposeful. Each task was a step toward ensuring the safety of their home, a promise to protect the land they cherished. The rhythm of their work was a soothing balm, a counterpoint to the chaos of the previous day. In the heart of the fort, Colonel William Moultrie, the leader whose name would forever be linked with the island's defense, conferred with his officers. Their discussions were measured, voices low but firm, as they planned for the days ahead. Moultrie's leadership had been instrumental, his calm presence a beacon amidst the storm. His men respected him not just for his strategic acumen, but for his unwavering belief in their cause. Beyond the fort's walls, the island's inhabitants began to emerge, drawn by the promise of a new day. Families reunited, their embraces a testament to the fragility and strength of human connection. The children, eyes wide with the tales of heroism, listened intently as stories of the battle were recounted. These narratives, woven into the fabric of their lives, would become part of the oral history that sustained their community. The British fleet, having withdrawn to regroup, was a distant silhouette on the horizon. Their retreat was a temporary reprieve, a pause in the relentless march of conflict. Yet, even as they licked their wounds, the specter of future engagements loomed large. The struggle for control over the colonies was far from over, and the waters of Charleston Harbor would see many more ships before peace was restored. In the days that followed, the fortification of Sullivan's Island continued. Supplies arrived, brought by allies who had heard of the victory and were eager to lend their support. The network of colonial resistance was growing stronger, each success a rallying cry that echoed across the fledgling nation. The spirit of independence, once a whisper, was now a chorus, swelling with the promise of freedom. As the sun set each evening, casting long shadows over the island, the defenders gathered to share meals and stories. The flickering light of campfires danced in their eyes, a reflection of the hope that burned within them. They spoke of their dreams for the future, of a land where they could live unburdened by tyranny. Their laughter mingled with the crackle of the flames, a sound as comforting as the steady rhythm of the tide. Nature, too, seemed to conspire in their favor. The island, with its lush vegetation and abundant wildlife, offered sustenance and shelter. The palmetto trees, which had played such a crucial role in their defense, stood tall and proud, their fronds swaying gently in the breeze. The sea, a constant companion, whispered its secrets to those who listened, its depths a reminder of the mysteries that lay beyond human understanding. As the weeks turned into months, the fort on Sullivan's Island became more than just a military stronghold. It was a symbol of resilience, a testament to the power of unity in the face of adversity. The men and women who lived and fought there were part of a larger tapestry, their lives intertwined with the destiny of a nation on the cusp of independence. And so, with each passing day, the defenders of Sullivan's Island prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead. Their hearts were steadfast, their resolve unbroken, as they stood watch over the harbor. The lessons of the past were etched into their souls, guiding them as they navigated the uncertain waters of the future. In the quiet moments, as the stars emerged to dot the night sky, they found solace in the knowledge that they were part of something greater than themselves. In the gentle embrace of history, they drifted into dreams, carried by the promise of a new dawn. The gentle murmur of the sea was a constant companion to those on Sullivan's Island, a rhythmic lullaby that whispered tales of the past. The waves, ever persistent, lapped against the shore, a reminder of the passage of time and the enduring nature of their struggle. Each soldier and settler knew the land intimately, its contours and crevices as familiar as their own thoughts. The island was more than a strategic point. It was a sanctuary, a place where hopes and fears mingled beneath the canopy of the southern sky. As the moon cast its silvery glow over the fortifications, the defenders moved with quiet purpose. They checked their muskets, ensuring that each was ready for the trials that might come with the dawn. The scent of salt hung in the air, mingling with the earthy aroma of the palmetto logs that formed the walls of their bastion. These logs, though humble in appearance, were a source of great strength, their fibers absorbing the impact of cannonballs with remarkable resilience. It was a fort built by hands that understood the land, crafted with materials that spoke of resourcefulness and ingenuity. In the stillness of the night, conversations flowed softly among the men. Stories of home and hearth, of loved ones waiting across the water, filled the spaces between the duties of the watch. Laughter, subdued yet sincere, punctuated the air, a balm against the uncertainty that loomed like a shadow. They spoke of victories and losses, of battles fought in distant fields, their words weaving a tapestry of shared experience and camaraderie. The officers, too, found moments of reflection amidst their responsibilities. They gathered in small groups, poring over maps by the flickering light of lanterns. Their discussions were measured, voices low but firm, as they planned for contingencies and considered the movements of their adversaries. The weight of command was a heavy mantle, yet it was borne with a quiet dignity, a testament to their commitment to the cause they served. Beyond the fort, the island's natural beauty was a constant, soothing presence. The rustle of palm fronds swayed gently in the breeze, a soft symphony that harmonized with the distant cry of seabirds. The sand, cool beneath the feet, was a canvas for the tracks of those who patrolled its length, a silent testament to their vigilance. The stars above, scattered like diamonds across the velvet sky, offered a sense of perspective, a reminder of the vastness of the universe and the small but significant role they played within it. As the night wore on, the men found moments of rest, their bodies seeking solace in the embrace of sleep. Dreams came softly, carrying them to fields of green and familiar faces, to places where the burdens of conflict were momentarily lifted. In these dreams, the promise of peace was tangible, a whisper of what might be if they held firm to their convictions. The island, with its blend of natural and man-made fortitude, stood as a beacon of hope. It was a place where the ideals of freedom and independence took root, nurtured by the courage of those who called it home. Each day was a step forward, a movement toward a future they could scarcely imagine but fervently believed in. As the first light of dawn began to creep over the horizon, painting the sky in hues of pink and gold, the island stirred to life. The men rose, shaking off the remnants of sleep, their spirits buoyed by the promise of a new day. They gathered their resolve, ready to face whatever challenges might come, united in purpose and fortified by the bonds they had forged. The sea, ever watchful, continued its eternal dance, a guardian of secrets and dreams. It whispered to them of resilience and hope, of the strength found in unity and the power of a shared vision. And so, with hearts full of determination, they stood once more upon the threshold of history, prepared to meet the dawn with courage and grace. As the sun climbed higher, casting its warm glow over the island, the men set about their tasks with renewed vigor. The scent of salt and seaweed mingled with the crisp morning air, invigorating their senses. Each man knew his role, and together they moved with a rhythm born of practice and necessity. The boats, weathered but sturdy, awaited their touch, bobbing gently against the dock as if eager to be set free upon the waves. The fishermen among them checked their nets, fingers deftly weaving repairs where needed, ensuring no catch would slip through. Their hands, calloused and strong, moved with the ease of long familiarity. Nearby, others prepared the sails, unfurling them to catch the morning breeze, their fabrics snapping crisply in the wind. The sound was a promise of speed and adventure, a reminder of the endless possibilities that lay beyond the horizon. On the shore, a group gathered around a fire, its flames licking hungrily at the morning chill. They spoke in low tones, voices carrying the weight of stories shared and plans made. Each tale told was a thread in the tapestry of their community, binding them together in a shared history. The older men, their faces etched with lines of experience, offered guidance and wisdom, their words a balm and a beacon for the younger ones who listened with rapt attention. The island itself, a steadfast companion through the years, seemed to pulse with life. Birds called to one another from the treetops, their songs a joyful counterpoint to the murmur of the sea. The land, rich and fertile, promised sustenance and shelter, a haven for those who called it home. It was a place of beauty and challenge, where each day brought new opportunities to learn and grow. As the morning wore on, the boats were finally ready, their preparations complete. The men gathered once more, a circle of resolve and camaraderie. They spoke of their hopes and fears, of the dreams that propelled them forward and the obstacles that lay in their path. Each voice was a note in a symphony of determination, a testament to the strength found in unity. With a final nod, they pushed off from the shore, the boats gliding smoothly into the open water. The sea welcomed them, its surface sparkling in the sunlight, a vast expanse of possibility. The men worked in harmony, their movements a dance of skill and precision. The sails billowed above them, capturing the wind's energy and propelling them forward with a gentle urgency. As they sailed, the island receded into the distance, a familiar silhouette against the sky. It was a place they carried with them, a part of their very being, even as they ventured into the unknown. The journey ahead was uncertain, fraught with challenges and risks, but it was also filled with promise. Each man felt the pull of adventure, the thrill of discovery, and the comfort of knowing they were not alone. The sea, vast and mysterious, held its secrets close, but it also offered guidance and wisdom to those who listened. The men knew its moods and rhythms, its hidden dangers and hidden treasures. They respected its power, understanding that it could be both a friend and a foe. As they sailed, they listened to its whispers, the gentle lapping of waves against the hull, the distant call of a gull, the soft sigh of the wind. Time slipped by, marked only by the changing light and the steady progress of the boats. The sun climbed higher, casting a golden path across the water, a beacon leading them onward. The men spoke little, their focus on the task at hand, but their silence was companionable, filled with the unspoken understanding of shared purpose. As the day wore on, the horizon began to shift, revealing new shapes and colors. The anticipation grew, a palpable energy that coursed through the boats, quickening their pace. Each man felt it, a tingling in the air, a promise of things to come. They were on the brink of discovery, poised at the edge of a new chapter in their story. The sea, ever watchful, continued its eternal dance, a guardian of secrets and dreams. It whispered to them of resilience and hope, of the strength found in unity and the power of a shared vision. And so, with hearts full of determination, they sailed into the unknown, prepared to meet whatever lay ahead with courage and grace. The future was theirs to shape, a blank canvas upon which they would paint the story of their lives, guided by the light of the sun and the wisdom of the sea. As the horizon stretched out before them, the sailors found solace in the rhythmic motion of the waves. The sea, a vast expanse of mystery, held within it the promise of new lands and untold stories. Each day, the sun rose with a gentle warmth, casting a golden glow over the water, illuminating their path. The men, though weary from the journey, felt invigorated by the prospect of discovery. They spoke in hushed tones, sharing tales of distant lands and the wonders that awaited them. The camaraderie among them grew stronger with each passing day, a bond forged by shared dreams and the trials of the voyage. The nights were serene, the sky a tapestry of stars, each one a beacon of hope guiding them onward. The gentle lapping of the waves against the hull was a lullaby, soothing their tired minds and bodies. In those quiet moments, they reflected on the path that had brought them here, the choices made and the sacrifices endured. The sea, ever present, was a constant companion, its whispers a reminder of the journey's purpose and the promise of what lay ahead. As they sailed further into the unknown, the air began to change, carrying with it the scent of land. It was faint at first, a mere suggestion on the breeze, but it grew stronger with each passing hour. The men exchanged hopeful glances, their hearts quickening at the thought of setting foot on solid ground once more. The anticipation was palpable, a shared excitement that lifted their spirits and renewed their resolve. Finally, the cry went up from the lookout, a shout that echoed across the water and sent a thrill through the crew. Land was in sight, a distant silhouette against the horizon, a tantalizing glimpse of what awaited them. The men gathered at the rail, eyes fixed on the approaching shore, each one lost in his own thoughts and dreams. The sea, their steadfast ally, seemed to rejoice with them, its waves dancing in celebration of their impending arrival. As they drew closer, the details of the land began to emerge, a rich tapestry of colors and shapes that filled them with wonder. The coastline was rugged and wild, a testament to the untamed beauty of this new world. The air was alive with the calls of unfamiliar birds and the scent of exotic blooms, a sensory feast that awakened their senses and stirred their souls. The moment of landing was a blur of activity, a flurry of movement as the men prepared to set foot on this uncharted territory. Their hearts beat with a mixture of excitement and trepidation, a recognition of the significance of this moment. With each step, they felt the weight of history upon their shoulders, the knowledge that they were part of something greater than themselves. The land welcomed them with open arms, its beauty and mystery unfolding before them like a story waiting to be told. They explored with eager eyes and open hearts, each discovery a treasure to be cherished. The landscape was a canvas of vibrant hues, a testament to the richness of the world they had found. The men marveled at the diversity of life, the intricate dance of nature that surrounded them. In this new world, they found a sense of belonging, a place where their dreams could take root and flourish. The challenges they faced were met with determination and ingenuity, their spirits buoyed by the promise of a brighter future. The sea, their faithful companion, watched over them, its presence a comforting reminder of the journey that had brought them here. As the days turned into weeks, the men settled into their new lives, their hearts full of gratitude for the opportunity to start anew. They forged bonds with the land and its people, learning from each other and growing together. The stories of their journey became woven into the fabric of this place, a testament to the power of exploration and the enduring spirit of adventure. The sea, ever watchful, continued its eternal dance, a guardian of secrets and dreams. It whispered to them still, a gentle reminder of the journey's purpose and the promise of what lay ahead. And so, with hearts full of hope and determination, they embraced the future, ready to shape the story of their lives in this new world. The canvas was theirs to fill, guided by the light of the sun and the wisdom of the sea, a testament to the enduring spirit of exploration and the boundless possibilities of the